This is Game Night Live. WJBF Sports presents local high school football live in your living room each Friday night. Game Night Live is powered by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And now, your hosts, Ashley Brown and John Hart.
David Dupree Field at Lucy C. Laney Memorial Stadium on Laney Walker Boulevard on the campus, or right across the street from the campus of Laney High School in beautiful Augusta, Georgia. It is week 6. Hard to believe, time flies when you're having fun, but it is already week 6 of Game Night Live tonight. The number 3 ranked team in the state, the Screven County Gamecocks, pay a visit to the Laney Wildcats. Good evening once again, everybody. I'm John Hart, joined as always by Ashley Brown and AB. There's no other way to put it. You have a Screven County team here that is running roughshod over the competition so far, 3-0, 1-0 in the region. You have a Laney Wildcat squad that's still looking for its first win. On paper, it's a Screven County advantage, but they don't play the games on paper, do they?
Well, yeah, that's what we thought a couple of weeks ago when Strom Thurmond visited Midland Valley. It looked like a lopsided game on paper, and Midland Valley came down to the final play of the game, basically. Midland Valley trying to tie that thing up or possibly win it, and Strom Thurmond intercepted a pass to kind of seal the win. So, look, Laney has struggled this year. We knew they were going to be down this year. I don't think anybody envisioned how down. They've been outscored 201-38 in their 4 games, and they've got their hands full tonight. Screven County is ranked 3rd for a reason. They're loaded with talent from their quarterback, their fullback, their tailback, their receiver. They got several college scholarship players, guys who have already committed to nice big-time programs. So, yeah, Laney is going to have their hands full tonight with a very good, very well-coached, and very talented Screven County team.
We will discuss each of those players in depth as we go along here tonight. It is the first night of fall, at least on the calendar, but it was a very hot day here in Augusta and a very humid night. We had some showers here beforehand, so the field is a little bit damp, so that might have a little bit to do with the playing conditions tonight. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But the players now making their way toward midfield for the coin toss. And as they do, we'll send it down to Matt Lane for our very first Augusta Auto Auction sideline report of the game.
All right, hey guys, that's Mr. Williams right there. He's your umpire. I'm Mr. Prince. I'm a referee, all right? Can you guys control your players in your team?
Yes, sir.
Can you guys control your players in your team?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna look for leadership from you guys, okay? Get the ball back to an official. Let's keep it moving. You talk to your side, you talk to your side. You can help each other up. Other than that, let's keep it moving, okay?
Yes, sir.
Are you the visitors? You're gonna flip a coin, see what you wanna do, all right? What you wanna do?
Heads.
Heads? What did he say you want?
Yeah, heads.
He said heads? Is that what you said? Heads,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, we're gonna flip it up. Heads, tails, we'll flip it and see what we got. And it is heads. What do you want to do?
Receive.
You want to receive the ball.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that means you have the option which way you want to kick the ball. Which goal do you want to defend? Which way you want to kick?
We defend it different.
You want to kick that way?
We defend it different.
You want to defend that way? Okay, so what we're gonna do is everybody's just gonna move around to your left, all right? You're gonna put your back over there, you're gonna put your back over here. Let me stand over here. Okay, you won the toss, and you're gonna receive. All right, hey guys, shake it up one more time, and let's go ahead and get them out, man.
And as far as the keys, looking at both sides, I guess we'll start with the visitors from Screven County. There you see them about to come on the field in all white, led by their quarterback, Amari Bunbury. They do have a high-powered offense, and they've got to get the ball to those playmakers in space. Taquan Johnson, C.J. Wright up the middle, and they've got Kim Hunter at tailback. And then also get pressure on Mario Sumter because they don't want to give Laney any big plays. That's what Laney's going to need tonight. And if they get pressure on that quarterback and don't allow him to throw it deep, it's going to be a long night for Laney. And then as far as for Laney, what they're going to have to get tonight, one thing is they're going to have to, no doubt, create some turnovers and get some big plays. You're not going to beat this team just manning up one-on-one and trying to, beat them down the field methodically. You're going to have something special happen, and that's Mario Sumter maybe hitting a big pass play, maybe some returns, maybe an interception or a couple of fumbles, but you got to create some turnovers for sure. And then they got to come out here tonight and play with some fire. They're struggling this year. They're probably a little bit down. The first few minutes of this game are important. They've got to play with a little bit of fire tonight.
So the Gamecocks and the Wildcats are about to take the field. There come the Screven County Gamecocks, ranked number 3 in the state of Georgia in Class 2A. And we are almost ready for kickoff from Laney Memorial Stadium. We'll have it for you right after this on Game Night Live. Back at Lucy C. Laney Memorial Stadium as we are almost ready for kickoff between the Screven County Gamecocks and the Laney Wildcats. Screven County comes into this game, as we mentioned, number 3 in the state. They are 3-0. They are 1-0 in the region. Laney 0-4 overall, 0-1 in the region, still looking for its first win.
Yeah, and tonight, like I said, you're going to see some really talented kids. Really, both teams have athletes. But in terms of college scholarship caliber players, Screven County has a few, led by their big fullback / defensive tackle. You don't see that combo very often, but 290-pound C.J. Wright is just that. Rushed for 1,000 yards last year and also is one of the premier defensive tackles in Georgia. Reminds you a little bit of a smaller version of Tyrone Truesdale. Tyrone Truesdale, the defensive tackle for Laney last year, is now playing at Auburn. He is committed to play at Georgia Southern. His height probably stopped him from going to a bigger program. And then they've got a receiver named Tyquan Johnson that, folks, when I saw him as a sophomore, I said right then, that kid looks like a college caliber player. He is committed to play at the University of South Carolina after having offers from a number of huge programs, ACC, SEC, Big 12, and he's going to South Carolina next season. We'll get a chance to see number 2, Tyquan Johnson, I'm sure, tonight.
And we'll have to take a second chance at the opening kickoff here. It'll be Mario Williams to boot it away for Laney, and back deep to receive for Screven County is Eli Brodnecks.
And Matt's telling us they're missing a member of the chain crew down on the field. So,
you know, the last time I was here at Laney, the same thing happened. They had to pull somebody out of the stands to run the chains. So, a little bit of a delay here to start. There is a bit of weather off to our southeast, but so far it doesn't look like it's going to be a factor here. And we are finally ready to go. Williams toe to leather. And on the return for Screven County is number 9, Jelon Taylor. And Taylor is going to be knocked down at the 32-yard line. And that's where Screven County will set up shop. AB, we mentioned this high-powered offense for the Gamecocks. They have been outscoring opponents to the rate of 142 to 33 in their first 3 games. They haven't scored less than 45 points in a game.
Well, because they can beat you in so many different ways. If a team's run happy, you can maybe key on that. Or if they're going to throw the ball a lot, key on that. Try to pressure the QB. But this team can beat you. Their quarterback can run. Amari Bunbury can throw the ball. He can run. They've got 3 or 4 running backs that are capable of going for over 100 yards. And they've got 2 very capable wide receivers.
And they do stay on the ground for the first down play. That's C.J. Wright. And he is a load, AB, and you can see why he is so hard to bring down as he rumbles ahead for 12 yards and another first down.
The first thing I said to John and Nathan when I sat down tonight was, well, you don't see too many 290-pound fullbacks, but that is exactly what he is. When we talk about all these other guys that are, bowling balls and remind you of people, well, that is Jerome Bettis XL because he's even bigger than Bettis. And that kid, he's a good athlete. He's nimble on his feet. Bunbury is the quarterback. He wears number 5. And then you see C.J. Wright, the fullback. Also, Kim Hunter, number 3, a tailback, is very tough. And Tyquan Johnson, the top receiver. There's the offensive line. Michael Johnston, the leader in that group right there at center. And that's the Screven County offense. The Gamecocks, 2002 state champs, and right now ranked number 3 in Class AA. Look at that Laney defense here in just a moment. Laney, boy, they have been just decimated by graduating, their top players over the last 2 or 3 years. Last year, Tyrone Truesdale went to, and there's Bunbury. He's going to keep it. Got a good lead. Whoa, what a block by Kim Hunter. There. Tyquan Johnson was out there kind of holding the receiver, and then Kim Hunter just leveled him.
So Screven County, as we expected, moving the ball with ease here on this first drive of the game. And it'll be another first down. They are already into Laney territory at the 31-yard line.
I mentioned last year Laney had Tyrone Truesdale. They also had another player that ended up going to play at South Carolina State. So they had a couple of college scholarship players. Willie Eubanks was the
Going to
South
try to
Carolina
the
State
air
guy.
for the first time, and it is intercepted. AB, you talked about Laney needing some big plays, and that pickoff is DeJuan Griffin. We have a flag down, though, back near the line of scrimmage. Let's see if this holds up.
Yeah, we'll see, but that is exactly what they needed because Screven was marching right down the field pretty easily. Griffin with the pick, the ball thrown up for grabs. And I understand you want to let your playmaker make plays, but that one, Johnson was never really there. The defender just, basically playing center field was able to catch that.
And it will hold up as that was an illegal formation by the Gamecocks. So Laney with the first big play of the night, and they'll have the ball 1st and 10 at the Screven, at their own 5-yard line.
Well, Armani Bunbury's been so good this year, 6 touchdowns and just 1 interception through the air through his first 3 games. But he threw that one up for grabs, and the defender made a nice play.
So we'll get our look at the Laney offense, which has struggled so far this year. This team has been outscored by an average of 41 points through its first 3 games of the season, and they'll keep it on the ground with Jarvis Washington, who picks up, we'll give him 4 or 5 tough yards to the right side.
Yeah, they might even mark it a little further, John. Looks like they might give him about
7.
7.
Yeah.
Nice run there, and look, whoever sealed, I didn't see who got that seal block, but whoever sealed that side of the defensive line did an excellent job for Laney. The running back basically had, just green grass to run on there until he got to the second level. So nice job up front by Laney. And they got to contend with a pretty good defensive front. That's probably the strength of this Screven County team.
You can see the size on that line for the Gamecocks. So out of the gun this time is Mario Sumter. On the run, throwing, completing, and that is Jalen Lovett, who will have a first down up near the 20-yard line.
Well, they had a perfect play called on that. They had a blitz coming. They sent Robinson, Screven County, and they had a nice little quick pass play called, which is perfect for that.
Give him 8 yards on the pass. We'll call it 1st and 10. We'll take a look at that Laney offense. And you mentioned Mario Sumter is the guy who makes this thing go for the Wildcats. Washington Welch are the running backs. Griffin Anthony and Henley, the wideouts. And there you see the offensive line for this Wildcat team.
Yeah, this is what they had to replace a lot on of last year's, that offensive line. They're coming with another blitz here.
And that's going to be Sumter, who gets through the blitz to the 30, 35, 40, up near midfield, and run out of bounds at the 50. But there is a flag down, and we'll have to catch the call. And a late
for the
flag
second straight time, just right up the middle, Kayshawn Robinson, number 20, one of the team captains, came on a blitz, and the fullback both times for Laney, give him credit, the running back's been able to pick him up, and that gave Sumter just enough time to get to the outside. Mario Sumter, watch this, number 20 right there, going on a blitz. The back, actually, it was one of the linemen who was lined up at fullback, number 97 for the Laney Wildcats, Maurice Page. So Page with a good job there blocking the blitzer.
Well, the Wildcats are retreating as we await the call.
Well, either way, Laney has done a good job. They were backed up to their own 5 on the interception, which, great, you got the interception, but now you got to go 95 yards. They've looked pretty good on offense so far.
Sideline interference.
This is an offense that has really struggled.
This will be a
but
first
also,
down.
Laney has played a pretty tough schedule. I mean, they've had to play Thompson. They've had to play Evans. I mean, they've played some solid opponents. And they got another one here tonight. No joke, this non-region schedule up until tonight for Laney.
So that flag, it was a sideline infraction against Laney. That's going to cost them 20 yards at the end of that run. They will have it 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line, and not a whole lot there as Washington.
Yeah, nice play that time. Number 15 for Screven County, Kendrick Cox, and also number 20, Kayshawn Robinson.
Kendrick Cox.
It was Cox on the carry, and they'll give him, maybe 3 yards. A loss of 2. I'm going to be completely honest with you, folks. Our press box is completely fogged up, so we're doing the best we can here, but we're pretty much watching the game on television with you as best we can. We're doing what we can to aerate this press box. This is Sumter on the move, in trouble, and going to just get rid of it and complete it. Did he stay in? Ron Dunkman says absolutely not, but the official says absolutely yes, and that is complete up at the 35-yard line.
Good job by Sumter. I thought he was just throwing the ball away, which I was going to say was a good play.
Sure.
Dodging the defenders there. Sumter 2 years ago as a sophomore really showed some promise in a game against Josie late in the year where he got to come in and play, and he did a pretty good job last year. This year, his numbers pretty early on, he's struggled. But again, think of who they've played. They have played some really tough teams, really bigger schools like Evans, tough opponents like the number 2 team in the state in Quad A Thompson. So they've played some tough teams. This is, but again, Screven County is no joke either. They're right in that group with Thompson and the Evans and those tough teams.
Wildcats need 6, and they're not going to get it. Ball thrown at the feet of number 88, Jay Graham.
Yeah, it almost picked off there on the defense. It was Tristan Jamison.
So it'll be a 4th down situation for the Wildcats, and the drive that started with some promise with that long 30-yard run by Sumter that was brought back by the penalty is going to end here at the 35-yard line.
Screven County won this matchup last year 31-18, and they finished 11-2 last season, and they think this team is better than that group. And there are many people around, including me, I think of the teams in this area. Although North Augusta has been very impressive, I think this might be the team in the CSRA that has the best chance to make a really deep run for a state championship. But right now, they got their hands full with Laney, who looked pretty good moving the football there.
Ron Duncan has done a spectacular job in his 5 years in Sylvania. You've got 3 region titles in those 5 years. He is 49-14 as head coach of the Gamecocks. That's a 78% win percentage. That is the best in Gamecock history for anybody that's coached more than
5
1
yards.
season.
Well, Laney has had a nice run, too, going back to Eric Parker and Lemuel Lackey, the coaches here. They've dominated Richmond County. I mean, dominated to the point like 2 losses in 15 years to Richmond County opponents. But this year they've taken a step back, and they're going to struggle a little bit more. But are they still the class of Richmond County if you take out Aquinas? I mean, in their region, that remains to be seen.
Well, Laney had too many men on the field, so that backed him up another 5, and it'll be a fair catch called on the punt by Kim Hunter of the Gamecocks. So Screven County will have the ball and another shot after turning it over on their first possession, and we'll see what this Gamecock offense can do.
Hunter is one of the kind of forgotten guys on this team. He's a really good tailback, averaging over 10 yards a carry, actually averaging right at 11 yards a carry this season, but so much attention for C.J. Wright, Taquan Johnson, and Armani Bunbury that he sort of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit. But there's no doubt Kim Hunter could be the guy that Laney has trouble with tonight. They've got a couple other good backs we'll see as well.
And they will keep it on the ground, and it's guess who? Big number 21, C.J. Wright, up the gut and across midfield into Laney territory.
Well, the crazy thing about it, C.J. Wright, he was almost that big as a freshman. He was listed at 5'11", 270 as a freshman. And he's 6 foot, about 285, but he's got the quickness of a much smaller player. I'm not saying all-out speed, but his quickness level is incredible for his size.
This is E.J. Robertson. Again, AB, they just keep bringing fresh backs in and fresh legs at you, and he's going to get it up to about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, you're right. They do have about 4 different guys with at least averaging about 55 to 60 yards per game. Robinson in that mix as well. The quarterback, Bunbury, actually leads them in rushing, although it's close between the top 4 guys.
Uh-oh. You better get on that ball. All right. That was a backwards pass, but it goes out of bounds harmlessly. Jonathan Roberts, the intended receiver.
You're right. That's something where the coach is going to have to remind
we saw that last week.
Yeah.
And it resulted in a touchdown.
That's the one thing dangerous about those plays. I like it. It's a quick play to get an athlete open in space with the football, but you do have to be careful with it.
So 2nd and 1 from I'll call it the 40-yard line. This is Robertson again, and a flag down as he is tackled by a gang of red shirts near the 40-yard line.
Well, Laney, good job that time defensively.
We got hold
on Screven County, I believe.
So not the start Ron Duncan wanted, but if you're Rob McFadden and this Laney Wildcat team, this is great.
Well, I said play with some fire. Looks like they are. Offensively, the guys were blocking up front. Defensively, they were able to create an interception after struggling a little bit on that first drive. And now on this drive, Screven's kind of hurt themselves, but also Laney's made a couple of nice defensive plays.
Well, that'll back Screven County up back into their own territory at the 46-yard line.
They've only targeted Taquan Johnson once tonight. There he is coming to the bottom right half of your screen, number 2. He is committed to play for the South Carolina Gamecocks, 6'3", 195-pound receiver. He's the blocker this time. They throw another screen, and again, it's incomplete.
So the Screven County offense, which has been unstoppable so far this season, is sort of spinning its wheels a little bit here early. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 15.
Yeah, Bunbury came into the game 30 of 53, 56% completion percentage. But his 3 throws tonight, that one was catchable. The first one was not a great throw. It was interception. The second one was not a great throw. That one was not a bad throw.
So the Gamecocks need 15 here, and they'll put it in the hands of Marty Bunbury, and he's not going to get there. They tried to throw it and missed his man, Jonathan Roberts, at the midfield.
Yeah, Bunbury just looks out of sorts a little bit. That time he was going to run with it, but he was still behind the line, so decided to throw it, and he's targeted Roberts 3 times and has been incomplete each time with it.
They do have
penalties decline.
Legal man downfield. They thought he was going to run it. Yeah. He decided to throw.
Illegal substitution.
Or actually legal substitution. So
yeah.
Had too many men coming out of the huddle.
Either way, it's going to be a kicking situation for the Gamecocks. 4th and 15, and we'll get our first look at the Gamecocks punter.
Every moment Laney keeps this game close is a win for them. You know, the longer they can hang around and maybe make a big play. I said they're going to need turnovers and maybe a special teams big play or two. You know, like a run back of a punt, perhaps. Let's see what they can do here.
Tivion Mingle, I believe, is the punter. And that's a
punt.
good kick taken at the 17-yard line. Oh!
Augusta Payne Center hit of the game, maybe?
Augusta Payne Center hit of the game nominee for sure. That was Jay Graham on the reception and somehow held onto the football.
Kendrick Cox absolutely leveled him. Look.
He's saying I called a fair catch.
Let's see if he did.
We'll take a look.
He thought he called a fair catch. Let's see if he did here.
Just out of frame.
Well, he certainly thought he did because he was just holding the football, not trying to run with it. But the officials did not see the motion for fair catch. And because of that, he took a shot.
So Laney will have it at its own 17-yard line. Still 8 minutes and change left to go in this opening period.
Well, let's see if Screven blitzes. They did it a ton on that first run. They are blitzing again and look at this. Another good play.
Around the left side goes Mario Sumter, and he's going to pick up about 12 yards up to the 28-yard line.
Laney must have done a good job scouting Screven and what they're doing as far as blitzing because they've really had 3 perfect plays for the last 3 blitzes. That time, Sumter able to fake it to the running back, which the running back took a shot, but Sumter able to run free around the end. Because of the 2 blitzers both hit the tailback on that play.
It'll be up at the 24-yard line. So they only gave him 8 on that play. Out of the shotgun this time is Sumter.
And they're coming again.
And flags down as the ball is snapped. You're right, that Gamecock defense pinned its ears back that time.
Well, they're playing super aggressive. They've got number 15, Kendrick Cox, and number 20, Kayshawn Robinson, and they're just bringing them every play. Also, number 44, Tristan Jamison also making a run in there that time. And Matt Lane down on the field tells us they are close to looking at some weather here as possible lightning in the area.
So Laney now with the ball at the 29-yard line. Out of the shotgun is Sumter.
And they're coming again.
Yep. And that one was almost picked off. You had almost E.J. Robertson there was in the area of the pass, which falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I don't know how the blitzer missed the pass. I mean, it looks like it went right through his 2 arms because he raised his arms as he was coming in. So at some point, Screven's going to make a play on that blitz. They're getting through, but has had the right play call against them. But those guys keep coming in almost guarded, unabashed here into that backfield. And now especially because Sumter doesn't even have a blocking back.
3 wide to the right for the Laney Wildcats. And Sumter will throw. Or maybe not.
Trouble,
and he is in trouble, and down he goes. Demetrius Boyd, big number 77 for Screven County. Just a sophomore, by the way.
Well, he got the sack, but give Davian Perry credit, number 54. Perry's the man who chased him up into the pocket. So good pressure that time. And they did it that time without the blitz. they actually had been dropping back in coverage, worried about the pass, and that time they were able to, get pressure on the quarterback without the blitz. Watch here, though, 54 is the guy that comes in. You'll see right here, and he chases him up, and then 77 cleans it up.
Loss of 6 on the play, so the Wildcats 3rd and long again, and Sumter in trouble again, and down it goes again.
Kayshawn Robinson is so fast coming off that edge and on the blitz, and he's been coming up the middle. That time they moved him to the outside, number 20 on the right side of your screen there. And I said eventually he's going to get to him, and that time he did, just using that speed. Man, he can fly on that edge. You're seeing more and more teams go to that smaller defensive end, smaller linebacker type that's got speed rather than having those big guys up there. And Robinson able to just run right past the blocker.
So Laney will be forced to kick it away as we are still scoreless. I tell you what, when people see this score around the state right now, it raises a few eyebrows. 6 minutes to play in the first quarter and still scoreless.
Well, like I said, as the longer Laney keeps it tied, the longer they keep it tight, that's a win for them. And because you're right, a lot of people expected this to be a one-sided affair tonight. But again, we had that going into 2 weeks ago, and Strom Thurmond got everything they could handle from Midland Valley. I promise you that.
It was a loss of 8 on the sack, and this time it is a fair catch called by Jonathan Roberts of Screven County. So the Gamecocks will have excellent field position to start this time at the 35-yard line. So they'll be 35 yards away from it.
Well, they figured out a way how to let Roberts catch a ball. That's punted to him. They've tried to throw it to him 3 times. It didn't work.
There's a good look at the Laney sideline.
Yep. Coach McFadden.
He's got to be super excited about what he has seen from his team so far, but his defense backed up against it here as Screven County takes over on the 35, and it's going to be a pitch out to the right side. That is Kim Hunter, and he'll have it up to the 20-yard line, maybe inside the 20 to the 19.
Yeah, nice pickup there. Good play. Everybody was worried about big C.J. Wright up the middle, and Bunbury made a nice fake and was able to take it to the outside and then pitched it to Hunter at the last minute.
Wright ran for more than 1,000 yards and 21 touchdowns last year. Maybe the most amazing stat for him. Only stopped for loss once all of last season. But when you're that size,
he's going to fall forward. I promise you that.
Gets a little momentum going. They're inside the Augusta Technical College red zone. Well, they were at least. Let's see what the flag does to that.
Well, he's such a great lead blocker too. When you got
on the defense,
5
yards.
Quit. Who's the first guy into the hole? I mean, the linebackers almost don't stand a chance.
Right.
And Kim Hunter and, Robertson, some of the other backs are loving it when they've got to, they can follow behind Wright. He is committed, number 21 right there, center of your screen, C.J. Wright. He's committed to play at Georgia Southern. The player to his right, number 2, Taquan Johnson, committed to South Carolina. And there's a few other guys on this team being recruited. Those are the 2 biggest recruits. Last year, we were talking about that with Laney, with Willie Eubanks and Tyrone Truesdale.
Class giveth and class taketh away, because that's what happens when you have all those seniors. The next year can be tough. That's Hunter, and he'll keep to about the 10-yard line. Give him about 3.
So Screven County knocking on the door here. They moved the ball well their first drive, but an interception ended that by DeJuan Griffin of Laney.
3rd and inches.
So 3rd and inches.
Second.
Second. Well, they've got the guy for that play.
Gee, I wonder.
He's at fullback.
And it is right, and it is a first down, and it is a touchdown. Screven County.
He got about 120 of them.
So the Gamecocks finally break through with big C.J. Wright, the Georgia Southern commit, right up the gut, and the Gamecocks take a 6-0 lead.
Well, here's our GMC Kicks for College, Georgia Military College, all year long, sponsoring our extra points and field goals. So let's see if Screven can get the PAT here and add to the score. C.J. Wright, that was supposed to be like a dive up the middle, and he just
dragged everybody
with
with
him to the end zone.
Michael Johnston for the point after. It is good. And Screven County takes a 7-0 lead with 5:30 left to play here in quarter number 1. We'll take time out on the field with your score. Screven County 7, Laney 0 on Game Night Live. Back live at Lucy C. Laney Memorial Stadium, where Screven County has finally broken through and taken a 7-0 lead on Laney. And it'll be the Wildcats back deep to receive. Ball takes a good bounce for the Wildcats up to the 22. Screven County thinks they have it. Screven County saying they've recovered a loose ball, and they have. Gamecocks with a huge turnover here in the first quarter.
That was 10's fault, Mario Williams.
Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, Matt had a good vantage point for that. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. First man missed. Laney tried to dive on it, and Screven County came out of the pile with it. I could not see who ended up with the ball for
Well,
Screven
he got
County.
out of the way almost like he thought it was a punt.
Yeah.
Can't do that on a kickoff. That's just a
Bizarre
long
sequence
onside
for
kick.
Laney.
The guy that avoided it is the punter for Laney.
And AB, you talked about this prior to the game. One thing Laney can't do is give Screven County breaks, and that's a big one for the Gamecocks.
No, you can't give a team like this extra possessions. I mean, they're already talented enough on offense. You don't need to help them.
And a flag down before we even get started here.
On who? On who?
Been a flag fest so far.
I think it's false start on Screven.
Matt Lane reporting from the field says, well, he thought might have been a false start, but it's not going to be anything as they pick up the flag.
He just wanted to wave to you, John.
Yeah, hey, how you
Big
doing?
fan.
Good to see you. Wait till after the game. So, here come the Gamecocks, and I was just about to say one name we have not heard so far is Taekwon Johnson, and they were aimed for him there, and just a drop pass.
You won't see that very
don't
often.
see
He put
that
up
every day.
monster numbers last year.
Well, South Carolina Gamecock fans hoping they don't see this in Columbia when he gets there.
Yeah. He was just turning, trying to run with the football before he caught it. That's all. Simple.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. From the 17-yard line. Again, the Gamecocks in the Augusta Technical College red zone. A lot of red in the red zone there. On the keeper, it's Bunbury up the middle. Bunbury with a move. Bunbury, touchdown, Screven County.
The fake he made at the beginning of this play is pretty special. I mean, if we've got that on replay, he absolutely faked out the defensive end. Look, right here, watch his fake. Oh, sorry. Man, nice fake.
He has thrown for almost 500 yards this season, and that's got a 17-yard touchdown run for Bunbury. And
Yeah, he's
Gamecocks
also
break through to 13-0.
That's his 4th rushing touchdown to go with 6 passing TDs, and we're only in game number 4 for Screven as our GMC Kicks for College, Michael Johnston. I will say this. I will argue with anybody that Screven has the 2 biggest kickers in the GHSA. Michael Johnston, number 74, is their place kicker, and then on kickoffs, C.J. Wright. Combined weight, about 550 or so.
Johnston now 2 for 2 on PATs, and the Gamecocks extend that lead to 14-0. And we still have 5 minutes and change here left to play in quarter number 1.
Yeah, I was talking about Taekwon Johnson's big numbers last year. 32 catches for 822 yards. He averaged 26 yards a catch. 13 touchdowns on just 32 catches as well.
Well, he's got a number of accolades. First team All-State last year from a variety of media sources. First team All-Region. And, just a tremendous athlete, tremendous talent.
We saw him 2 years ago. And like I said, when he was doing warm-ups, we were kind of like, some guys, John, we say this every year, some guys just look the part. And he just looked like a player, even as a 10th grader. And, of course, he's turned into a pretty big recruit and decided to go ahead and make his intentions known this past July when he committed to the Gamecocks. And there's big C.J. Wright.
He's the single-season record holder for touchdown catches and yards receiving. Not Johnston, or not Wright, I should say, Johnson. On the return is Griffin for Laney. He'll take it up to about the 29-yard line. Yeah, that's where the Wildcats will set up shop. Now trailing 14-0, just like that. It was scoreless, and then just like that, you turn up. If you're Laney, you blink and it's 14-0.
With 1 minute gone by on the clock.
Yeah.
At the 6:10 mark, it was 0-0. I mean, it's taken them no time because of the fumble on the kick return, and just like that, like you said, Screven takes advantage. And, both touchdowns, they've gone right up the middle. Mm-hmm. That's where they've hurt Laney tonight. They haven't really hurt them outside too much. It's been up the middle.
So the Wildcats with a hill to climb here, but plenty of time to do it.
And it looks like they're holding the linebackers back on this play. No, here comes Robinson. Man, watch how fast he comes up and blitzes. Here they
Keep
come.
an eye on him, trying to throw. It is complete to Griffin. Griffin with no room to run. He'll get about to the original line of scrimmage. And his helmet comes off. He'll have to come out for a play.
Yeah. Big number 77 came in there with one of his
Demetrius
paws.
Boyd.
Man, Demetrius Boyd, there he is, big 77. See that glove? That glove got up there. And you know, it wasn't his fault. The player was sort of sliding, trying to go down, under him kind of, go down, and he just came across and just kind of ripped the helmet off with his forearm almost.
So it's 2nd and 9 for the Wildcats as the clock runs under 5 minutes. A lengthy first quarter.
Yeah, it has been. A lot of penalties stopping the clock, and then we've had a couple of turnovers as well.
And speak of the devil, we got another flag. Oh, my goodness.
5 yards.
There's a delay
Let's go,
game.
5 yards, let's
Delay
go.
game against the Wildcats. That'll back them up.
Well, we knew Laney was going to be a little down this year, and right now this is an important part of the game because they've struggled this year. They've given up a bunch of points. They're averaging giving up 50 points a game, and they're falling behind early. As a coach, this is where you're worried about losing the team a little bit and them giving up, and you can't do that. Even though this is a really good Screven County team, you showed in the first half of the first quarter you can play with them a little bit. You just got to get maybe a sustained drive or a big play. Either way, get some points on the board.
This might surprise you, but we have another whistle, and this time it's a timeout. So the Wildcats take a timeout here with the Gamecocks leading 14-0, 4:15 to play in quarter number 1 on Game Night Live. Wildcats have it 2nd and 14 from their own 25 as we come out of the Napleton Infinity of Augusta timeout. And out of the shotgun is Williams looking to throw and missing a diving receiver at the 31-yard line. That was Jalen Lovett, the intended receiver.
Yeah, it might not have been a perfect throw, but you got to catch that one.
And it'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Wildcats. 12th time these two teams have met over the years. Laney with a 6-5 advantage in the all-time series. This is sort of uncharted waters for the Wildcats. They have not had a losing record in any season this century.
Yeah, and like I said, they have dominated their Richmond County foes, and that is going to be tougher treading this year for them when they get into that part of their schedule. I mean, they've just dominated the other teams in this county.
They need 14. They're going for that, and then some, and they got a man. It is complete to DeJuan Griffin, and he's in bounds, and a first down, and then some.
Well, DeJuan Griffin tonight has a nice kick return, a beautiful catch, and an interception. He's shown he can catch the ball. This was a beautiful throw by Sumter. He made a couple of these. I was mentioning when he was a sophomore against Josie, he came off the bench and really did a good job. They had a quarterback get hurt, and he came in, and I was like, man, this guy's going to be a pretty good little player, and that throw was perfect. 40 yards on the completion.
I was trying to do the math in my head. Didn't work. Didn't work out well for me. 1st and 10, and that's going nowhere.
Well, that time
Great
they had
pursuit.
it perfect. Yeah,
That was Kashawn Robinson, the senior.
he's
first
a
man
good-looking
through.
player on this defense. He's the one that's been coming on the blitzes, and a couple of times they blocked him or went the other way, but he's got a sack now and a huge tackle for loss there. I really, as much as Taekwon Johnson, C.J. Wright, and those guys get attention, I'm really impressed with number 20 tonight. Super athletic, super quick.
He was on the Georgia Athletic Coaches Association first team All-State team last year with 98 tackles a year ago.
Yeah, and you know, at the next level, maybe he's a safety, maybe he redshirts and puts on some weight, who knows, but I mean, he is lightning fast.
It was a loss of 4, brings up 2nd and 14, and it'll be Jarvis Washington on the carry this time.
Looks like Robinson might have got shaken up. He came from behind to make the tackle. He was trying to strip the football, and I don't know what happened there, but it looks like a little shaken up.
And also, Washington looks like he's a little banged up as well, so he's coming off.
And the 20 staying in there, though, Robinson.
Not before Washington picked up 3. It'll bring up 3rd and call it 12.
And Nathan's saying 4-down territory. I think he's probably right, especially already down 14-zip.
You don't want to put the ball back in that Screven County, the hands of that Screven County offense. Out of the gun is Williams. And Screven jumped but got back. I was going to predict a pass there, but on 4-down territory, they're going to keep it around the right side and give it to Jordan Stringer, and Stringer is strung out after a gain of a loss of about 1.
They may want to get Robinson out of there. He was leaning over grabbing his knees. He's hurting. Not sure exactly what happened to him.
Yeah, it was Treston Jamison on the stop for Screven County. So, going to be a long 4th down try here, and
you got to roll out Sumter here.
Yeah,
let him try to make a play.
4th and 12 from the 37. Now I'm predicting pass, AB.
Well, it looks like they're going to come with one blitzer, but that pass was batted down.
Yeah. So the Gamecocks will take over on downs, and they'll have a good field position again with still 2 minutes and 18 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
Well, Screven, obviously a pretty talented team. Laney held in there with them as much as they could that first half of the quarter, as you see the ball tip there. But right now, this is a possession where Laney needs to stop. They need to stop here.
For the Wildcats. They need a break.
They've only scored 38 points all year, averaging less than 10 points a game. You do not want to fall behind another score this early in the game.
So the Gamecocks back at it, setting up shop from their own 36-yard line.
Looks like Bunbury, not sure if he was changing the play or...
He was looking to the side.
Legal procedure on the offense.
That's going to be
5
a
yards.
motion penalty against the Gamecocks.
Some people love their job.
Oh, man. We have had our fair share of flags tonight. We'll say that.
There's a look at that Screven offense.
Hey, AB, it's still the first quarter. We've been at this for almost 45 minutes. Here come the Gamecocks. Guess who? It is right. Rumbling.
There he is.
And bumbling.
Rumbling.
And not stumbling. Across the 35 to the 30. Can anybody drag him down? And they finally do inside the 20. But he landed very awkwardly at the 28. Oh, no. Oh, dear.
That didn't look good.
No.
That did not look good. He got drugged down from behind and got his left leg caught behind him. Did not look good.
There he is. All right, that's good to see. Great to see.
Yeah, it didn't look good. Again, and also the bigger fellas maybe not quite as limber doing those kind of moves as the small guys. Hopefully that's all it was, and nothing serious with the knee, more of just a pulled muscle type thing.
He's got what the penalties against Screven rocking the back. But he's got what they call a low center of gravity. Is that a good way of putting it?
Yeah, I'd say that. I know one thing, but you see what I mean about for a guy his size? How many 285-pound guys could do that? Not very many. Mm-hmm. I mean, he broke it to the outside and was running past the defensive backs. Watch this. He started slow, but here he goes. Cutting to the outside, made a man miss. I mean, that's a 285-pound defensive tackle. Now, watch here at the end of the play. We didn't get to see it. But he had that left leg caught behind him as he kind of bent backwards.
So the Gamecocks will have it at the Laney 38-yard line.
Matt's saying he reminds him of a player, Javarsky Lane. I know exactly who he's talking about. And that pass is complete to Taquan Johnson.
First time we've called his name tonight. The South Carolina commit has it and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. That'd be a pickup of 18 yards. And another big first down to the Laney 20-yard line. And now we have another delay here. Not sure exactly why. And some sort of timeout.
Don't tell me lightning delay. Do not delay lightning delay.
Do we have a... Is it a lightning
Where's
delay?
the ball?
We have a lightning delay here, which, if you were with us in week one, that means at least a 30-minute timeout here, as apparently there is some inclement weather in the area. We looked at the radar a little bit ago, and There's just one small little storm somewhere, but apparently it is close enough here to Lucy Laney Stadium that we're going to have at least a half-hour delay here.
Well, real quick before the break, Matt made mention of kind of compared C.J. Wright to Javarsky Lane, who was a running back at Texas A&M,
And there you
kind
see
of a
the
robust running back.
Yeah.
There you saw the Lightning. And he played briefly with the Miami Dolphins and kind of bounced around some of the other professional football leagues. But, yeah, that's definitely a good comparison to C.J. Wright. Lane was huge. He lost a little weight when he went to the Dolphins, and they were trying to make him a tight end and let him catch the ball out of the backfield some as well. So we will have a break here as
Well,
the two teams go to the locker rooms.
we are
7 minutes from right now, they'll reevaluate.
channeling my inner George Myers here, and we're looking at the radar up here in the booth, and there's a small cell. It's sort of if you know anything about radars, there's a lot of red in it and there's a lot of rain in it, but it is over in southern Aiken County, and it's moving ever so slowly, inching its way our way. But if you play it forward, it looks like it would miss us to the south, but I guess a little bit too close for comfort for these officials. So according to Matt Lane down on the sideline, we have about from right now probably about 25 minutes, and that's from the first lightning
Well, I
strike.
was going to say, yeah, keep in mind if they see another strike, it adds another 30 minutes.
Well, and here's the problem with that, because again, that storm, it's not moving fast, and it's not necessarily moving directly at us, but it is moving, inching its way here in our direction. This is where the highly paid guys on the big networks would throw it back to the studio and then go, get some chicken fingers or something.
Go lay down, take a break.
We don't have that option.
Is there a masseuse?
Our director, Chris McCarthy, doesn't have a whole lot to do in the next 20 minutes. He can come up and help you out.
Well, folks, of course, each and every week we bring you high school football, and we can't do it without the folks at McDonald's. Game Night Live presented each week by McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, you can create your own sandwich with a McDonald's new signature crafted recipes like the bold new signature sriracha made with spicy sriracha mac sauce, crispy onions, and a mix of fresh baby spinach and kale. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by the way, you can go get what I get. You know what I get, John?
What's that?
The go-to, 2 double cheese, no onions.
Ah,
That's the go-to. And I'm telling you, they're good.
It's a pregame meal.
I had the 10-piece nugs on the way here.
There you go.
Yeah.
I had a 2 double cheese, no onions. We're doing this every week without planning it. This is not a paid-for endorsement.
No.
But, that is kind of my go-to. Very easy, inexpensive, and very tasty.
Well, there you see our score here as we're in a lightning delay, 14-0. Screven County leads Laney. We do have some other scores from around the area we can get you. Burke County leads Effingham County 6-3. That's the first quarter score. Jefferson County having no trouble with Westside 35-0. Laney will face Westside next week. Evans is up 7-0 on Baldwin, a score that might raise a couple of eyebrows around the area. North Augusta up 15-7 on Strom Thurmond. That is a second quarter score, so a little tighter maybe than some folks thought. Midland Valley 7-6 over Fox Creek in the second quarter. Lincoln County tied with Stratford Academy 7-all. That's also in the second quarter. Another tie game at Aquinas. The Fighting Irish tied with Calvary Day School 3-3, and Augusta Christian putting it on Oakwood Prep 23-0. That is a second quarter score. Any thoughts on any of those scores, AB?
Well, I said to somebody this week, this was one of the tougher weeks if you were picking games because you had about 5 that were literally coin flips. And it's funny because a couple of them were Calvary Day with the Aquinas. They're tied 3-3. Stratford Academy at Lincoln County, they're tied 7-7. Mm-hmm. Midland Valley Fox Creek at 7-6. So those games are playing out tight. Evans Baldwin's a one-possession game. I'm a little surprised that Strom's hanging in there the way they are with North Augusta.
A lot of people are, yeah.
I think, but North Augusta's coming off some pretty big highs, maybe feeling themselves a little bit. I would imagine in the second half they're going to get a chewing at halftime from Coach Thomas. I would think that game's probably going to get a little one-sided in the second half.
Well, just when things are moving along so fast here at Lucy Laney Stadium, we have a lightning delay in the first quarter. Still 2 minutes, minute 58 to be exact, to play here in quarter number 1, with Screven County leading at 14-0. So, like they do in the big leagues, when they throw it back to some rain delay programming, we were going to take you to MeTV's regularly scheduled programming, as there's another lightning strike. So we might be here a while, folks. So enjoy the MeTV programming. We will keep you updated. I'll keep you updated on Twitter at John Hart WJBF as we get more updates, and then we will rejoin this game and be back with you as soon as this weather lets us. So in the meantime, enjoy MeTV, and we will see you in just a bit.
Hey, do you have a battery?
Flag in your pocket.
Is there a battery over there?
Batteries over here. There you go.
Yeah, we're going to need lots of batteries.
Back live at Lucy C. Laney Memorial Stadium as we are almost done with the lightning delay here. We apologize to those of you who are thoroughly enjoying the Andy Griffith Show, but we got a ball game to play. So,
man, the off-air stuff you guys missed was scintillating.
But anyway,
by the way, before we go back to action, we have to wish a happy birthday.
Yes, we do.
For one of the guys in the booth.
Yeah.
Nathan Edwards.
Yeah.
The best stat man in the biz. Celebrating a birthday tonight.
And as a special treat, AB is going to sing happy birthday to you.
Not many people celebrate their birthday with a lightning delay at Laney High School.
I don't know if celebrate's the word I would use.
All right.
So here's the situation before the lightning delay. We are 14-0, Screven County leading. We are still in the first quarter. So if you're, just getting home or whatever, pull up a chair. Football Friday night might be off the air before we are. But it's Screven County 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line as we pick it back up, and it is. I thought it was right. No, they go around the right
what
side.
A fake.
Beautiful fake. Armani Bunbury to the right side and run out about the 5-yard line.
What a fake!
Yeah,
though.
he had all of us.
Look, if you're the poor linebacker there, if you're going to take that kind of shot, you at least want that guy to have the football. Watch CJ right there.
Got the cameraman, got us.
I mean, that might be the Augusta Payne Center hit of the game, and
Absolutely.
he just trucking somebody. And to be honest with you, a little bit of a lackluster effort trying to get Bunbury there, and he ran out of bounds, but they got lucky he ran out of bounds because it looked like he was headed to the end zone there. Laney has got to somehow try to get a turnover, a stop, something on this possession here, and stop this bus that is moving fast now after a slow start.
Another flag, just as we were moving right along.
Personal foul on Laney.
It's going to be a personal foul against the Wildcats. And that should put it.
It wasn't dead ball. It was in the middle of the play.
Should be half the distance.
Yeah, it should be about the 2.5-yard line.
No, it's in the middle of the play. It won't add on. It's either the penalty or the run.
There's only so far they can walk it off.
That's true.
So it wasn't. Well, I know they added.
Here we go, guys.
Screven County ranked number 3 in the state in Class AA. Next week they will host the upstart Harlan Bulldogs.
We'll be at the 2.5, and they'll just give it a big right over the top for another touchdown, and the Gamecocks extend the lead to 20-0.
Well, you saw there how happy the quarterback was that he scored. His tailback comes over and jumps up and hugs him. C.J. Wright, likable guy on this team, one of the leaders. Watch here, the big fella diving over the top.
Somewhere the fridge, if he's watching, really
Super
appreciated
proud, yeah.
that because that looked like him in the Super Bowl back in the day.
I'm telling you, that's why I think that guy is going to be a heck of a college defensive lineman, because you give him that speed, like Aaron Donald dominating the NFL. You give him that speed against big offensive linemen, he could be a special player there for the Eagles.
Michael Johnson up and in, so the drive was worth the wait for Screven County as the Gamecocks in just 3 plays, make it 4 plays, extend the lead to 21-0 now over the Wildcats.
Yeah, good comparison. Also, we're getting an offensive comparison from Matt. Nathan pointed out Charles Grant, former Georgia standout, great player in the state of Georgia, both offensively and defensively.
He's the one that did not fumble against Georgia Tech in 1999.
I don't think
50-yard touchdown.
I don't think he's quite as good an athlete as Grant, as well put together. And Grant, of course, so big. But I do, like I said, I think at Georgia Southern, you put him against the linemen at that level, and I think his quickness is going to make him a very good player for the Eagles. And then, we'll see. I don't think he's going to play much offense. I think he's going to be a defensive lineman once he gets there for sure.
If you're just tuning in and you don't like sitting through lightning delays, you can catch the rebroadcast of this game, of course, this Sunday at noon over on WJBF News Channel 6. We'll edit out all the slow parts and just keep the good ones. As the kick goes just barely into the end zone. That was dangerous for the Wildcats.
Well, they've already had one long kick that Laney did not, get on quick enough, and it became a long onside kick, basically. And that led to a touchdown. And just like that, I mean, again, keep in mind, with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, it was 0-0. It was 0-0.
Uh-huh.
We're still in the first quarter, and it's 21-0.
We're definitely still in the first quarter.
It's 21-0.
Oh, my goodness. It's almost 9 o'clock.
In the last 4.5 minutes on the clock, Screven has scored 21 unanswered. And Laney needs an answer. Now, they did have one big pass play in that so far in this first quarter.
Well, Laney will go trips right here as they're going to have to score and score quick. And the screen set up very nicely. Another flag, as I'm guessing this is going to come back. Nice run into Screven County territory by Jordan Stringer, but might be all for naught.
Coach McFadden has had some great plays called because he knows Screven is bringing that pressure. He's thrown a couple of outs. He's had that screen. He had a little misdirection with the quarterback. So he's called a good game against what is just incredible pressure Screven's bringing. Unfortunately, though, the penalty is going to negate a nice play there.
Yeah, you can see the Wildcats retreating as we await the call.
Which flag you want to go for? Be from the line of scrimmage. Be from the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes.
So, and what was a 30-yard play for the Wildcats will be wiped out.
They should call that illegal touching on the clock operator.
So the Wildcats will back up to their 15-yard line. We'll try it again. It'll be 1st and 15.
Well, again, Laney they need to get something out of this possession. I mean, you want to keep Screven off the field, but you also got to get points. Just keeping them off the field when you're down 21-0 doesn't do any good.
Out of the shotgun again is Mario Sumter.
And here they come
Here
again.
comes Screven. Now they backed off that time, and the pass is complete. That is Jalen Lovett, and he makes one man miss, but not the second one. He's up to about the 28-yard line.
Kayshawn Robinson still is not himself. He's still not 100%. He's the man that made the tackle.
Number 20 there in the foreground of your screen.
He faked the blitz and dropped back in coverage, and he made the tackle, but he's been real, walking gingerly after every play since a few plays before the Lightning delay where he made a tackle and injured himself. Again, first-team All-Stater from last year with almost 100 tackles.
They got about, we'll call it 4 yards on the play. Call it 2nd and 12 from the 18. As we are finally under a minute, AB, here in quarter number 1. That's right up the middle. Jordan Stringer again.
Good hard
and he'll
run
pick
by
about
the
7 yards, sure. Make it 3rd and manageable for the Wildcats, as that may be the final play of the first quarter.
I say young fella, this is a kid to watch that's going to be pretty good here. He's a freshman. And you see a little tentative, but he did hold the ball with both hands. I like that, knowing he was going to take a shot. That's a 9th grader going up against a defensive tackle going to play at Georgia Southern. So, I mean, I give him a little credit.
3rd and 4, and Sumter throws it short of the yard marker up to about the 25-yard line.
I know what I would do if I was Coach McFadden. I would get Stringer some carries. That kid looks like a player, number 28 in red. And, again, just a 9th grader.
And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Just like that, the first quarter's over, guys. We only got 3 more to go. We are at the end of 1 quarter plus a lightning delay. Your score, the Screven County Gamecocks 21, the Laney Wildcats nothing. And you're watching Game Night Live on MeTV.